Hi everyone, Boston Potta here. Just want to go over this pottery glaze, the photo you see of this pottery glaze bowl, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I've kind of ahead of the game, so I put, I want to, didn't want to bore you with the whole video, so Midnight Stone is what I've got on the bowl right now, and I've got 3 coats on the back side, 2 coats on the inside. The reason I only have 2 coats is because I'm also going to put a coat of this glass green over the top, not on the bottom, just on the top. So I am going to get another paper here to put the glass green on. Now I'm not even going to rinse my brush from the Midnight Stone. So now I'm going to put this coat of the glass green on. Kind of a nice heavy coat. It's going to blend in. Okay, it's just going to go right on top of the Midnight Stone. The colors I have on here, so I have Midnight Stone, I have glass green, which is a specialty glaze, not really a pottery glaze, but I think it's going to bring out some of the, that's what brought out some of the colors when I put on the Pottery Peacock. So I'm going to put Pottery Peacock on and Magic Flow. Okay, so those are the other colors I'm going to be using on this bowl. And that's it. It's pretty simple. So here's the coat of glass green. And I'm going to let it dry a little before I do anything else. Now I didn't put it on as thick as I wanted to, so I might, go over it a little bit more. You don't want it too heavy because you're going to be putting other colors on, so just going to go over it a little bit. I still wouldn't call it 2 coats because I'm just kind of evening out the coat I have on here. And it's still wet, so it's not really another coat unless you let it dry a little and then put the second coat on. All right, so that's it. So I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so we have the, this is the, everything's dry enough to the touch, so I can put on my next color. So I have 2 coats of Midnight Stone on the back side, 3 coats on the back side, 2 coats of Midnight Stone on the top instead of 3 because I'm putting some other colors on there. So because then I've got a nice good coat of glass green on the whole top also. Now I'm going to use this Pottery Peacock. Now make sure when you get this, you shake it up really good because the crystals could fall to the bottom. So tip it upside down, shake it up. You can hear it, make sure if it's thick, you really got to thin it down. You should be able to shake it like this in order to get the crystals out. If it's not, you would have to thin it down. Now, you should use like maybe a plate or something like this to pour it into, or a little bowl or something, because it's going to, you can hear the crystals. So you want it on something that, has a little bit of an edge on it so it doesn't go all over the place. Now, I put the bowl on a paper towel so that it doesn't wipe off the bottom footing, and I usually put it on a turntable so that it just it's easier to maneuver without keep rubbing it on the bottom, so that the bottom part, you don't want it to end up dry-footed because you did so much moving it around. So this kind of just stays in one spot and just the whole turntable moves. So we got it's hard to see this whole thing in the picture here, the video here. But so I've got this full of the Pottery Peacock. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit different of a brush. I'm going to use maybe a round, a big round brush, like a number 12 or 14. I should say the biggest round brush you can get, maybe number 14. Now, could you use a bigger brush? Yes, I can use the same brush I was using. The only problem with that is that by using that, you can't, it's harder to get the drips going down with that. Maybe I'll start with that one, and then we'll move on to the other brush. So I'm going to start with this big round brush, and I'm going to go do the whole kind of top. I'm going to brush on. Now I want this on kind of heavy, so as you can see, I'm putting it on heavy. I'm not brushing it out much. I'm just kind of letting it float on there, because I want it to kind of flow down. I don't care if it flows a little on the back side, but I'm actually trying not to. I'm trying to just get it on this side, on the top part of the bowl. Because you're only going to do really one coat of this, so you want it to be a little bit on the heavy side. And you want to make sure you get some of those crystals in there. You can do a second coat if you feel like it's thin. Like this is a little bit thin, so I could do a second coat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. I'm going to leave the center kind of to be this color, whatever color it is. So as you can see in the photo, I just am running it, like putting it on heavy. Once I get to this point, I'm kind of putting some runs in it. Do you see how I'm doing this? So I'm kind of floating it on, letting it drip. I mean, you could actually pour it on if you wanted to. I am going to pour the Magic Flow on, so I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go back and check it, make sure it's on as thick as I would like it. Like I said, I want it a little heavy. I'll hold it up and show you how heavy it is. Actually, I ended up using this big brush for the whole thing, so you can, if you want, you know, more strings of color, like you'd have to use the smaller brush. But I think this brush is good because the way I'm putting it on, it still enables you to go down a little and make some little points of drips that look like drips. Okay, so you can see how I got it so that it's all kind of going into the middle. But now I'm going to go over it one more time because I would like to get a little bit heavier and a little more crystals. So I'm going to pour a little bit more out, actually. Ooh, I poured too much. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to do this, pour a little more down so that it's really got those drips, and I want it to flow down into the bowl. So it is sort of a second coat. I just want it heavy enough. Now, if your glaze, because sometimes the pottery glazes tend to thicken up in the jar, so if your pottery peacock is thick already, you'll only need just one coat. But where this is kind of thin, which I kind of like it like this actually, you can run it down a little bit more so that it's a little heavier. That's why I'm putting on this second coat. I want it nice and heavy. And before you run the Magic Flow on it, I'm going to show you what you have to do with the Magic Flow. Now you can do this two ways. You can either let this all dry and then put your Magic Flow on, or you can put it on while it's wet. We are going to put it on while it's wet, because that's what I did. I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference, but that's how I did it. So, okay. You should mark where you start from, because I don't know where I started to go around. I think it was right about here. Okay, so you can see how kind of thick that is on, all right? Make sure I got my edge. Okay, now I'm done with that. I'm going to try to pour some of this back in because I went way too much. Okay, now we're done with the pottery glaze, with the pottery peacock. And so I'm going to put the cover on that. Put that aside. Now we're going to go with the Magic Flow. So what we're going to do with the Magic Flow is we're going to pour the Magic Flow, shake it up, pour it into a cup. Let me move this over a little. We're going to pour some into a cup. I'm probably going to fill it I don't know, maybe a quarter way up, because I'm going to go around the whole bowl, and it's a pretty big bowl. Okay, so I've got, as I'm getting glaze everywhere, my arms. So I'm making a mess. All right, pottery glazes can be messy. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to thin this down a little, okay? So I've got a cup here that's just got water in it, okay? Let me get this in front of the camera. That would help. Okay, see how thick the Magic Flow is? I want it pourable, so I don't want it that thick. So I'm going to thin it down. So I'm going to pour a little water. You can start with a little tablespoon and then stir it up. But, you know, I'm going to pour, because I know I've just pour a little water and stir it up. See if it looks thin enough. And I'm going to show you what I mean. This is probably plenty of water. Maybe like a teaspoon, like use a teaspoon like this. Put 1 or 2 teaspoons at the most in there, and see how it goes. Now this is thin enough. I don't want it too thin, because I want the Magic Flow to show up. Okay, now I'm going to show you that. Stir it up good, and you can see that it's much looser. Okay, so I think it's thin enough. So now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pour it on like this. Okay, this is how I did the other one. Okay, now you can see this is wet, so it's don't pour it on too heavy. You can see how it's coming out, and it's sliding down there. It's gonna go down, so you don't have to pour it too heavy, because I really would rather it didn't go past this. So that's why I'm not pouring too much. So I'm just holding it on the edge. This is why I got the turntable underneath me. Do you see how nice it flows down? How I can turn it as I'm going? Okay. So some may go past this, past where I want it to. So you can maybe make it even a little bit thicker, but it's nice when it's pourable. And like I said, I'm going on this area that's wet. You can see it's going down. I don't normally pour Magic Flow, so you can see while it's wet, it's doing this. So, and if it's dry and you do this, if the Pottery Peacock is dry and you do this, it's not going to flow as much, and you're not going to get this. So you're going to have more thicker looking Magic Flow, like the white in there. It depends on the look you're looking for, but you could do either. And I'm going to show you, because I'm going to go back and add some to the top, because I'm kind of almost touching the rim. Okay, now. Okay, so it's pulling some of the color underneath right down with it. Now, I want this edge to have a little more. See how the edge, because I was holding the cup and kind of dragging it along there, I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Magic Flow, not the real wet part, I'm going to put it on a little heavier on that edge. So I'm going to put some Magic Flow full strength on a plate. I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to go and tap some Magic Flow up here that's a little heavier, okay? Because I really want that edge covered, because I kind of took some color right off of it with dragging the cup, but it's easier to drag it along when you're doing it wet. It depends on how much Magic Flow you want on it. So I can even put it a little bit heavier down the side so that it flows down. You're never going to get two bowls that look alike when you do this. So this is the second one I've done, so we'll see how this one looks compared to the other one that I've already done. So, you're never going to get two that are going to look the same, but that's the beauty of it. It's kind of unique. I think it's the beauty of it. It's, it's getting that kind of high fire look with a low fire glaze, and that's what we kind of came out with the Pottery Glaze in the first place for, to get a high fire look. We've always advertised high fire look, low fire glaze. So the thing is, a lot of people are doing stoneware right now, and they want ideas on how to make the pottery glazes look as good as the stoneware glazes do. but it's not a high fire glaze. But we can get pretty close and make a pretty good look, that's for sure. So, because this looks nice when it's fired. So now, remember, you have the Pottery Peacock underneath. You have Midnight Stone. Then you have Pottery Peacock, which is the crystals. Then you, oh no, you have Midnight Stone. Then you have Glass Green underneath also. Then you have the Pottery, then you have the Pottery Peacock on top of the Glass Green, and then the Magic Flow. So you can see how I'm tapping this on the edge to get a little more thicker at the top. That will also flow down when it's fired, so I think this is going to look pretty neat when it's fired, so. And all the colors kind of, when it heats, when the kiln gets hot at the high temperature, this will all just flow down and flow together. It all melts in the kiln, so that's why you never get the same look, because you just don't know what it's going to do. You might get a similar look because you're using the same colors, but you will get a little bit different of a look. No two is going to flow the same way. I'm just about around the whole thing where I started. I started right about here. So that's it. Now, I mean, you can play with it a little. You can pour a little more if you feel like, oh, I want a little more of the white, you know, in there, a little more of the Magic Flow in there. It did pour right down into the center, but I'm just going to leave it. I think it looks very cool the way it is wet. So I'm hoping that when it's fired, it looks just as nice. So, we'll find out. Dying to see this. The one thing about the Pottery Glaze, that's really awesome is when you open the kiln, you just don't know. I mean, you have an idea what you're going to do because you know, if you've done it once or twice, but it's just cool to see, to open that kiln and see what this looks like when it's finished. Because to go in the kiln looking like this and then to come out looking so beautiful, it's just amazing. Always amazes me when I open that kiln, no matter what I do. Sometimes I freak out, but but most of the time with the Pottery Glazes especially, I put them in and go, wow, that looks really nice. That's really cool. So, so good luck. Hope you guys try this and try it with other colors and other things too, and just try pouring the Magic Flow or even pouring one of the other Pottery Glaze colors. I think you get a nice look. I think you'll be pleased with it. So that's it, guys. Catch you later.